Hello, this is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. In today's video, we will be reviewing for the 2022 Texas STAAR math test for 8th graders. Our concept is slope and rate of change. This is part 3. Remember, 8th graders, every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. We have our 8th grade math review workbook available for purchase in our store. The link is in the description box so that you can grab yours today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and press the like button so that you will be alerted to new videos we upload, and also spread the word about Hype Math. We greatly appreciate your support. Let's talk about rate of change. A rate of change is a ratio that compares the amount of change in a dependent variable to the amount of change in an independent variable. The slope of the line represents the rate of change. When graphing the rate of change, if all the points have the same rate of change, which means the same steepness, they form a straight line. So how do we find the slope of the line? For step 1, we are going to choose 2 points on the line. Then begin at one of the points and count vertically until you're even with the second point. That is your rise. That means up and down. It's vertical. Then count over or left or right until you are at the second point. This is your run, and then you're going to divide to find the slope. Remember, 8th graders, for rise, if you go down, the rise will be negative, and if you go up, the rise will be positive. For run, if you go to the left, the run will be negative, and if you go to the right, the run will be positive. Let's look at an example. Step 1, choose any 2 points on the line. So on our line, we have -2, 3, and 0, -3. Now we need to begin at one of the points, and that will be -2, 3. We are going to count vertically. We mean that vertically, which means either up or down. We are going down. And remember, whenever we go down with the rise, that means it's going to be negative. So our rise is equal to -6. For step 4, we are going to run, which means left or right. We are going to the right for our -3, and that means that our run is going to be positive. It is equal to 2. We need to divide to find our slope, rise over run, or rise divided by run. -6 divided by 2 is equal to -3. So -3 is our slope. Let's dive into a problem. And remember, we have our 8th grade math review workbook available for purchase in our store. Number 16 says, on a field trip, there are 3 adults for every 45 students. Which graph models a relationship with the same unit rate? And we see that for F, we have, for our x-axis, we are counting by 30s, but the line that is in between, that is 15. So it's actually 0, 15 is just not written, 30, 45, 60, 75, and so on. So that's the x-axis. And for the y-axis, we are counting by ones. In order to solve this problem, the first thing we're going to do is ask ourselves, what are we looking for? We are looking for the graph that models a relationship with the same unit rate of 3 adults for every 45 students. Now that we know what we're looking for, our next question is, well, what information can help find the answer? And it is that on the field trip, there are 3 adults for every 45 students. Now that we have that information, well, how are we going to solve the problem? And you guessed it, we are going to find the rate of change, of course. So for us to set up our rise over run, what we have is 45 students over 3 adults. When we simplify that fraction, 45 over 3, that means there are 15 students for one adult, or per adult, which means one adult. So we can set up our table. One adult has 15 students, 2 adults have 30 students, and 3 adults have 45 students. And that is how I wrote my pair. 1, 15, 2, 30, and 3, 45. So in order to solve this problem, what we're going to do is we need to look at our graphs and see which one shows for our points. It is 130. Oh, y'all see Miss Jackson messed up. Hold on, babies, hold on. Let me change this around. So actually it should be 15. My apologies, guys, because I put the y-axis first, and what I should have did is put the x-axis first. And you know, Miss Jackson is okay with showing that yes, adults make mistakes and I can change them while we're on this video. Look at that. All right, so what we need to look for is the graph that shows a pair of 15, 1, 30, 2, and 45, 3. Okay? So what is our correct answer? And let me change it here too. Again, my apologies, students. I know y'all said, Miss Jackson, we already trying to find the answer and you confusing us. All I'm doing is, because what my mistake was for our ordered pair, I put the y first and then the x. That is my mistake. It should be the x first, because you see that our x-axis, we have that it's counting by 15s, right? And then it has 30, 60, 90 as the numbers, but it's actually counting by 15. I should have had that first for our ordered pair and then the y-axis. And she did. She changed it. Now we're back on track. So again, what is the correct answer? We are looking for the graph that shows for 15 students, there was 1 adult. For 30 students, there were 2 adults. And for 45 students, there were 3 adults. And yes, H is the correct answer. And that is it, 8th graders, for Slope and Rate of Change Part 3. Remember, we have our 8th grade STAAR Math Review Workbook available for purchase in our store. This is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. I will talk to you later.